Hi there, this is Andreas with XpressPads finger drumming, and today I'd like to show you my new toy which I just got yesterday. It's the iRig pads from IK Multimedia, and it's a relatively small and lightweight pad controller with 16 pads on it, so that's the standard layout that you find on many other products as well. The pads are velocity sensitive, they are backlit, you have a couple of additional controls on it, so you have one slider as you see, plus two knobs, plus two buttons which you can freely assign, plus one multi-knob which you can use as a button or as a endless encoder, and that's quite nice. What I like most about this pad controller, next to the pads themselves, because that's the most important thing for any pad controller that you want to use for finger drumming. But what I like most about this device is the way they have solved the menu workflow, because it doesn't have an LCD display, and I so far haven't seen any software which you can edit the different node assignments on the pads and the continuous controllers and so on. It's all done via the surface of this device, so that means the menu structure is actually printed on the device, so you have beneath each and every pad a little piece of text, and in a step-by-step mode the device leads you through the programming process, and I think they really have solved that in a pretty clever way. What I will do next is I will just play a couple of grooves on it with the XpressPads finger drumming technique. That of course needs a certain layout to be on that pad controller, and in the next step I will just take you through the process of programming this pad controller so you can program it yourself for the XpressPads finger drumming technique or any other application. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's now have a look at how to edit our pads here. First of all, you need to know how to recall a scene, and a scene is actually a preset. So you press the scene button and then you see all these pads lighting up. Those are factory presets down here, and those are user presets that I've prepared already for the XpressPads finger drumming layout, and if you want to select one, you just press it and it's loaded. So next time you press that button, you see this one lights up orange, means it's loaded, and the same way you can just proceed with any other pad. Okay, the edit mode can be entered via pressing these two buttons at the same time, and first of all you will notice there are three pads that light up in red, and this means you have three different main modes of operation. One controls the pads or the nodes for these pads, one controls the MIDI channel, and one controls the program changes that you can send with a pad or with one of these other controls here. The other section that you see over here, that's the Octave Up Down section. So this one is for Octave Down, this is for Octave Up. It means that you, that's a global control by the way, you change the overall octave settings for all your pads at the same time. Down here you have the velocity sensitivity area, which means that you have three different options, one for soft velocity, one for normal velocity, and one for hard velocity. That's quite important because it makes quite a change. So let me just demonstrate that. If you go to velocity hard, first of all, and that goes for all edits that you make, you need to confirm them by pressing this pad here which says enter or yes. So let's do this. Now we are in hard velocity mode, which means that you have to hit the pads quite hard in order for them to generate a loud sound, and that sounds like that. Let me do it. Let me turn up the volume here. I'm going to do the same with a different velocity setting, so soft velocity, and do the same again. Quite a difference, isn't it? And that's the reason why I think it's so important. You need to find your own velocity setting which works well for your hands, for your strength, and so just play a little bit with this, okay? Now let's go into the pad editing mode, and that's accessed via this pad here, so while you're in edit mode. So now you say you want to edit a pad. Once you've pressed that, all pads light up, and that just means you need to select the pad that you want to edit, right? And in this case I want to edit this pad, which will be our bass drum, and then I'm asked for this pad, do I want to change the note value, do I want to change the continuous controller value or the MIDI channel value, and of course we only want to change the note value here. The next step, we have two options. One says temp, one says toggle, and it means you can now determine whether this pad shall send a temporary note, meaning you hit it and it just fires a one-shot sample, or you hit it and it lets a sound that you've selected just sustain until you hit that pad again. And for drums, of course, we want to have a temporary mode, so we just want to have one-shot samples. So let's take this one. And in the final step, we see that a couple of red lit pads light up, and that means you can now select the note value for that pad. And they have put the whole octave on that pad surface, meaning that you have from C to B all the different half steps of the C major key, and on top of that, so once you have selected your note number, pardon, your note number here, you can then either confirm it again with this pad here, or tune up or down the octave. Yeah, and in this case I'm just going in octave steps here, and you can also see it on the piano roll. And I think they have solved that quite nicely, because this way you don't have to scroll up and down. You always know, okay, one octave down or up. Pretty straightforward. Once you've found your note that you wanted to choose for this pad, you can confirm again, and there's your bass drum. Furthermore, if you want to know or fight yourself through the jungle of different general MIDI drum sounds, on the XpressPads website you can find a template that you can use, which just gives you at a glance all the different bass drums, snare drums, hi-hats, toms and cymbals with the respective note names and note numbers. And for example, if you want to edit this pad in order to make it the snare drum, you can see, okay, the acoustic snare drum note, that's D2, and this way you can pretty quickly know what note numbers you need to assign to pads. So in this case, again, we go to the edit mode, want to select pads, take this pad as set, again want to have it a note number, again want to have it a temporary note. We knew it was a D that we are searching for, and then we just tune ourselves through the different octaves, and there we have found the snare drum, confirm it, and we're done. So just one more step. So now we want to have this pad to be a closed hi-hat, so we go to pads, we select this pad, go to note temporarily, and then find out what the closed hi-hat is. The closed hi-hat is F#2, and F# sits over here, and it's the right sample already. Oh, there it is. And then say confirm, and we are done. That's that process we just repeat for each and every pad, and then it's done. Yeah. What you shouldn't forget is at the end of your process to save that scene. So you press the scene button for 2 seconds, then you can choose a pad, and there it's saved now. Okay, I hope this helps you. If you like it, please subscribe or give it a like, and well, see you soon. Bye bye. Just a few more things to add. The device costs 120 euros, that's the price that I paid, or $150. I think it was designed for portable use. That's the reason for the relatively small size. It comes with a special connector for Apple products, so you can use it with your iPad or iPhone. I think they don't support Android products, which is kind of sad. What I also like is you have that special slot in here for an expression pedal or for a foot switch, so that increases your options even more, which is good. Yeah, and it comes with a pretty remarkable software package. I mean, I don't go through it because there are a couple of light versions in it, and if you have your music making setup already, you might not need it. But if you're just getting started with music production and so on, that might be something really worth looking into.